Okay, so Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think it's fair to say that everyone, or for the most part anyway, has seen this movie and has formed their own opinions, whether they think it's good, whether they think it's bad. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, admittedly, after seeing this movie, start to finish, listening to all the reviews, listening to all the opinions, getting partially spoiled on what to expect. Honest opinion, I'm of the mindset that it really didn't deliver on what it is that I expected, and probably because I came in with a expectancy that it was going to build on the concept of the multiverse a lot more than it did. I mean, it did allude to it, of course, and it really did surround it with the character of America Chavez. By the way, spoiler warning if you haven't seen the movie, which I think almost everyone has.
Your sacrifice is worth more than your life.
I've seen it now twice, and I was expecting more of a concept, more of a bridge actually, of what the multiverse entails and it to really build on what's to come in the future in terms of character development, the effects of the multiverse, how it has affected this universe and the universes that are surrounding, right? Again, it did touch on that, but I don't really think it did it justice. All that saying, I still enjoyed the movie for what it was. I really did enjoy it. I appreciated the blending of horror and action, as well as the character of Wanda, and of course Stephen Strange and America Chavez, and the whole dilemma between the three of them. It had its ups, had its downs. Of course, my favorite aspect, like I just said, was the horror. I loved the horror scenes. That little scene where Wanda's in her house and the other Wanda's trying to possess her, right? And you know, the lights in the house start flickering on and off. I love those little touches. Now, this is by far no way a perfect movie, much like any other movie, right? Like -1. But this movie does have its problems, and that is actually what we're going to go over, because there were some things that kind of bothered me while I was sitting in the theater, and the person I was with, I kept on looking at them like, yo, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? You just listen to some of the conversation that they're having, and you just go, man, I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's how that's supposed to go. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over some of the problems that I noticed, because I wrote some of them down. So here we go. Let's get into this. Okay, so these are just questions now. And I guess my first question would be, who in the world tapped into the multiverse first? Like, how are we supposed to be able to tell time in this? And I haven't really looked any of this up yet, right? But who tapped into the multiverse first? Was it Kang? Was it Spider-Man? Was it Loki? Is it Wanda? Is it Doctor Strange? Like, I think they should have done a better job with actually addressing that, because from my understanding, after seeing Loki, had assumed that Loki and you know, multiverse Loki, or the other variant of Loki, was the one that broke open the multiverse when they got into the whole concept of variants, right? So now seeing this situation, it only rose a few more questions for me. Next one. The question comes up: if Wanda is doing all that she can to get back to her family, and I completely understand that, you know, she's a mother, she wants to see her kids, she wants to spend time with her kids, she wants to really raise her kids and go with her family, although she doesn't mention Vision, which I completely don't understand. Very little is mentioned of Vision. He doesn't make a cameo or nothing on those lines, but nonetheless, that's beyond the point. I've seen WandaVision. Whatever happened to her own kids? I to the best of my knowledge, I don't believe that that's actually ever touched on. So if that's never ever touched on, why is she seeking after another universe's kids that are technically, you know, hers, but a different variant of her? But whatever transpired with her own children, I don't remember them tying that up. I don't remember them, you know, fading away. I don't remember them going into a different universe. I don't remember them being vanquished. From what I understand, they're still present in that universe. They're created, but they're still present in that universe. She created them. So whatever transpired with them, that she now has to feel that she has no access to them. Again, another area that I don't believe that the movie ever addressed. Now, admittedly, a next thing that kind of bothered me was, if you remember when the movie actually opened up, it opened up with Defender Strange running away from a squid-looking monster with runes, with itself covered in runes, with America Chavez, and they're trying to get away because, you know, they're trying to escape from this creature, right? Now, apparently, from what I understand, Doctor Strange is viewing what's transpiring in a different, our Doctor Strange is viewing what's transpiring in a different universe with Defender Strange, because America did tell him that what you were witnessing was not a dream, right? He woke up in like a major sweat, and when he wakes up, his first thing is, you know, pant and breathe and whatnot, like he was having a nightmare of some sort, but he was actually watching what was happening with another Strange. Now, here's my question. Is his dream, if what he was viewing was actually a vision of what's going on, does he view the other Doctor Stranges in the same situation? Does he always see them? Do they always see each other? Like, how does that actually work? Do they always see one another? Is there another Doctor Strange just watching him as he sleeps? When does that turn off? When does it turn on? Does it only turn on when, you know, their mind is really engaged in combat? Does it turn off at certain points? Because what does that mean for the other characters as well? Because Wanda, from what I understand, is in the same situation. Wanda, yes, she shows her kids and what's transpiring with them throughout all of the other universes, but she wakes up in the same situation. She is dreaming and she sees her kids. So that makes me ask the question, are all of the Wandas viewing one another? Are they not viewing one another? Is it only when things are action-based? But that can't be true, because Wanda is watching her kids as they're just having fun with their mom. So again, yet another thing that really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Good movie, didn't make sense though. Another thing that really didn't make any sense to me, like I already mentioned, I talked about Vision earlier, but I don't think I really emphasized the situation here. Like I said, I saw WandaVision, and the situation with WandaVision, take all of this into consideration, okay? She took on damn near the military, right? She hijacked a town, she hijacked a group of people, created an entire fantasy life for herself, set up a family, and reanimated Vision, right? Brought him back to life. Give him a nickname too, Viz, right? Now, take all that into consideration. She built up an entire life with Vision, and not even so much as a whisper, not even so much as a peep. This entire movie seemed to focus around the kids as opposed to the person that she considered to be her soulmate. That, all of that right there just screams inconsistency, because the reason why the kids were there was as a byproduct of the relationship of her and Vision. The reason why she kidnapped all of those people was because she couldn't do without Vision. She went mad. And now you're telling me that in this movie it's all about the children? Excuse me? No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I consider this to be just a plot point, right? They needed some reason as to why she's doing all of this, and they gave it to her. So those are the four that I'm going with, right? And I know there's a ton more, you know, some with Spider-Man and whatnot. But yeah, we'll leave those alone. Those are the four that I was really just looking at and just going, nah, this really doesn't seem right. Now, my ranking of the movie overall, I think this movie is about a 7. I wouldn't give it any more than that. It's not bad. It's not great. I think No Way Home was better. This movie's nowhere even in the realm of Endgame or Infinity War. But for overall, I think it's a solid movie. I think it's fine. I'm waiting to see where else they go. I think there's a lot more that they could have built up. There's a lot more explanation that could have happened, especially with the character of America Chavez. The concept is fantastic, but I just think the initial doing of it was subpar, right? My favorite sections of this, the horror. Love the horror scenes. That chase scene after, you know, what happened, what all transpires with the Illuminati, love it. Can't touch it. Wouldn't touch it. Would leave that alone. That section in the house where the Wanda in the other universe gets possessed by Wanda in our universe, wouldn't touch it at all. But the rest of this movie needs to go back to the writing room. That's my overall opinion. You guys let me know what you think, whether or not you have answers for some of the plot holes that I identified, and I will get back to you for another one. See you later.